All right, guys. We are back live. Apologies for the delay. I'm not quite sure what happened there, to be honest with you. I didn't even realize I was off the air until you guys told me. So, thank you very much for letting me know. And I apologize for whatever caused that delay. We got it sorted out, though. I guess that's the main thing. So, we are live. We are ready to go once again. So basically, when I last checked in with you guys, we were in the middle of Campbell Hatton against James Flint. And while I've been getting back on the air, we have missed the entire fight here. Not the entire fight, but we've missed the first 5 rounds. So we are in round number 6 as I get back up to speed with the commentary. All right. Like I say, guys, I apologize for the delay, rather. James Flint is back up against the ropes now by Campbell Hatton. Campbell Hatton jab again from Campbell Hatton. Like I say, guys, while I was trying to sort the stream out, I wasn't actually able to watch, or I wasn't watching the fight because I was trying to get back on the air. So I don't actually know who won the first 5 rounds, basically. But I see both guys exchanging in the center of the ring now. Campbell Hatton's trying to use his jab to take control of the round, but James Flint is firing back. It's being fought in a phone booth now. James Flint, though, got the better of that exchange. Campbell Hatton fires back with a jab on the right hand. Body shot from Campbell Hatton, uppercut to the body. He's moving on his feet. His face is a lot less marked up as well than James Flint. Let me know in the comments, guys, who won the first 5 rounds for you, because like I say, while I was trying to get back on the air, I couldn't actually see. But we're here for Jose Zepeda against Dalton Smith is the main event. And also Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper as well. So thank you guys for coming back to the stream. Like I say, apologies rather, for the technical difficulties. Campbell Hatton now, Campbell Hatton here, as much as I said at the beginning that he's not under pressure, it's James Flint who kind of has, I think, everything to gain here by winning this fight, because Campbell Hatton, as much as he's raw, is going to be seen as the prospect here. He's the bigger name. And right now, he's getting worked over a little bit. The bell sounds for the end of round 6. Campbell leans on the ropes. Not exhausted by any means, but he is tired. He's definitely tired. All right, guys. Matthew Hatton, the trainer of Campbell, in the corner. Looks like we're having some more problems with the stream. I really don't know what's going on, guys. I apologize. All right. Campbell Hatton landed some nice jabs there and a nice right hand. But James Flint is doing well. 4 more rounds, guys, assuming it makes it to the end. Campbell Hatton and James Flint in the clinch in the center of the ring. Is it still the prelims, Rusty? Yes. Yeah, it is. I think the main event's probably going to start in about 2.5 hours, if I had to guess. 2.5 hours, I think. Nice shots to the body from Campbell Hatton, but James Flint comes firing back. Both guys are really exchanging here, but Campbell's getting tagged. He fires back with a jab of his own, but he got hit with some good shots there. You can see Eddie Hearn at ringside urging him on. He looks a bit nervous. Matthew Hatton as well. Honestly, it's close though, based on just like these last 2 rounds that I've actually been able to see. It's been very close. It's been very close. It's hard to separate them in this round. Now, you have to, I think, assume that Campbell's probably going to get the benefit of the doubt from the judges a little bit. But honestly, it's been very close. Flint now coming forward. We've got a minute left in round number 7. Campbell swings and misses. Flint's feinting as well. Manages to catch Campbell with the right hand. He's trying to work him to the body as well, actually. Campbell's firing back. Like these exchanges, both guys are landing. Both guys are there to be hit. Campbell tries to go for an overtop right. It didn't do any damage, though. It kind of landed on the back of James Flint's head. Campbell is taking too many punches. He's landing quite a few, but he's getting dragged into a war here, and he's taking too many shots. James Flint's holding him in the clinch now. 20 seconds left in the round. Nice jab from Flint. One thing Campbell has going for him, though, is it doesn't look like he's taken as much damage. And I think visually, oh, he got hit there, though, right on the chin with the right hand. Oh, it looks to me like his chin's kind of high up in the air as well. Like he had his chin sticking out there and he got caught right on the chin. James Flint's bleeding a little bit above the eye. But Campbell needs to be careful. He's hanging his chin out. James Flint, the cut above his eye is not as bad as the cut in the last fight, though. With only 3 rounds to go, I don't know if it's going to be a factor in the outcome of the fight. But Campbell Hatton did get caught right on the chin. And then he landed a nice body shot as well. But both guys are exchanging. Like both guys are landing. But I think from James Flint's point of view, he probably needs to really, I'm not saying this is right, but he probably needs to be even more dominant than he already is, just because Campbell's the bigger name and the house fighter effectively, which will probably influence how the judges score it if it's close, which it is. I'm not even saying that consciously, but just unconsciously, I think sometimes judges lean towards the house fighter when the rounds are really close because, ooh, Campbell got hit there with an uppercut. We're in round number 8 now, by the way, guys. Flint and Campbell Hatton. We are still on the prelims of this card. We are still on the prelims for this show. And like I say, I think we're about 2 hours away from the main event at this point. Ooh, Campbell Hatton got hit again on the chin. James Flint's really doing his best here. You can see he's tired. He really wants to win this one. He really wants to get this victory over Campbell Hatton, I think, as well. Overall, it hasn't been as much of a war as the last fight was, but it's still been very competitive. Center of the ring now, 1.5 minutes to go in round 8. Neither guy actually landing anything. Both guys throw some shots, but they did miss, and now they're in the clinch again. Campbell swing and a miss. He's got Flint backed up against the ropes, but he can't really connect with anything. Flint's trying to throw some shots, but they're all landing on Campbell's gloves and on his forearms. Jab goes over top of the head of Flint from Campbell. Attempted uppercut to the body. It hits Campbell on the forearm. But Flint's managing to unload on him a little bit now. Campbell's leaning in the clinches, and he's leaning his chin. He's leaving his head very vulnerable to these uppercuts. Campbell Hatton is on the back foot. And like I say, he's going to get caught with one of these uppercuts if he keeps leaning his chin over so much in the clinches. Flint manages to hit him with a body shot. Flint swings and misses, but he gets an uppercut through on the chin. It's a glancing blow. Flint's doing his best here to try and get Hatton out of there. Hatton looks like he's hanging on a little bit. He got hit on the chin again. That was a Flint round for sure, I think. It should be. It should be a Flint round. We'll see if it is. You just don't know sometimes, but it looked like that was probably a Flint round for me. Whew. Well, the good thing about this, like I said earlier, is Campbell Hatton's not messing around with fights that are a waste of time. This one is competitive relative to his level of experience, and he's in a close one here. He has a chance of losing this fight, so it's not one of these knockover jobs by any means. He's in real danger of losing this fight, not just getting KO'd, but he could lose this one on the scorecards as well. It's going to take guts here and heart, but both guys can win this fight. 2 rounds to go, and I think both guys are going to come out and give it everything they can now because it's really there to be won by either man. All right, here we go. Round 9. Flint and Campbell Hatton. I mean, for James Flint, if he wins this one, it's going to be the highlight of his career so far. Just to beat a guy that has a much bigger name than him, realistically. We are into round number 9, guys. I kind of hope that Flint wins in a way. It's not because I don't like Campbell Hatton. It's just because I know how much it would probably mean to him if he was able to do it. But guys, like I say, we're coming up on the main event. Dalton Smith against Jose Zepeda. Still got a ways to go, though. Still got a few fights coming up on the undercard as well, regardless of what happens in this one, including Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper. What is going on, guys? Just refreshing my stream as well, unfortunately. A minute left in the round now, guys. Campbell Hatton is getting tagged on the chin. Flint's the more beat up looking. Campbell comes firing back, but Flint just caught him. Campbell is in big trouble here. Campbell gets hit again. Flint's, like I say, he's got the more damage on his face, but he's the one landing the bigger bombs. Campbell fires back to the body. Look, there's a lot of things that both guys can tighten up defensively here, but they've both got a lot of heart. You have to give him that. Campbell Hatton is exhausted. James Flint looks exhausted also. Both guys are leaning on each other on the inside. Flint misses again with an uppercut. Thank you, Roy. Yes, everything's good. Hope everything's good with you as well. Yeah, there's been 2 good fights so far, actually, on the main card. Competitive, actually. That was another round that Campbell lost, I'm pretty sure. He should have, I think, but I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if he will get, or if Flint will actually get the decision, but Campbell lost that round, I'm pretty sure. Flint's in the corner, though. It's like I said before, it's not as bad of a cut as the one in the last fight. And with 1 round to go, I don't think it's going to make any difference, apart from just maybe influencing the judges a little bit. But I think it's I appreciate it, Roy. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. I was off the air for a little bit. I don't know what happened. My stream died and I couldn't figure out how to start it again. I'm not even drinking as well. I'm just couldn't use the technology. Well, I am drinking. Just water, though. Okay, round number 10, guys. James Flint's trying his best to unload on Campbell Hatton. Campbell's holding on. Flint is landing all of the shots here. Campbell is trying his best to hang on, but he's leaning with his chin and he's getting tagged with uppercuts. He's pushed Flint up against the ropes, but he's not landing any shots. He just managed to kind of hang on there and not get beat up too badly, but ooh, Campbell is wide open again. He's using the clinches to try and limit how much damage he's taking, but he's not going to win this round if he keeps going like this. And at this point, I think he'll probably have lost 3 rounds in a row if he loses this one. More uppercuts from Flint. And a hook as well. Oh, Campbell's just got to stop leaning his head in. He's just falling forward. Yeah. Yeah, that is true, Roy. I mean, realistically, if it wasn't for his name, at this point, nobody would know who he is based on his ability, I don't think. He has fought a lot, though. He's been active. I'll give him that. And he's certainly in a close fight here. Smith is probably going to be on, I think, in about 2 hours, if I had to guess. I don't think they give an exact time, but I'm guessing about 2 hours from now. There's a minute left in this one, round 10. They're both guys are exchanging. Yeah, Campbell is wide open. He's wide open. I don't think he's going to get stopped, but he's trying his best. He's trying his best to get stopped, honestly. Now he's firing back. He's got Flint up against the ropes. Campbell is just taking uppercut after uppercut. I don't know how he's still on his feet at this point. His defense is just gone. He's landing punches, but it's like he's not bothering to move his head out of the way at all. And you're right, Roy. He's wide open to the hook as well, but he's not actually gotten hit with one yet, but it's only because Flint hasn't thrown the punch. It's wide open. Campbell is firing back in this exchange, but this is another round he's lost, in my opinion. Yeah, Campbell is taking the sting out of the punches with his face. Actually, I don't know how he doesn't have more damage on his face than he does, because he took a lot of shots. I think he probably lost those last 3 rounds. Zepeda beats him. I think Dalton Smith is going to win. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning towards Dalton Smith. And then I I also think Sandy Ryan will win against Terri Harper, but we'll see. I could be wrong about that one. Dalton Smith. I kind of hope Dalton Smith won though, just because, like, if he did, it will do a lot more, I think, for his career to have won this fight. It will be, I think, a bigger deal to him, really. Yeah, I agree. And he might get it. Kraft Costanza, he's going to need some home cooking, yeah. But the thing is, though, I think Eddie Hearn knew he was in trouble as well. If you could see him at ringside, he kept yelling at him and he looked nervous. But I mean, I think everybody on Campbell's team knows that he's going to be very lucky to win this one. But whether he gets the decision or not, we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can tell that this has been the most competitive fight that he's been involved in. I mean, but the thing is, he's been in close, like, even from his very first fight, realistically, like, was close. I remember watching that one. It was on the Povetkin white undercard, and even that fight was closer, really, than you would have expected his pro debut to be. Like, he won, but he's never really looked super dominant, I don't think, in any of his fights, really. All right, well, let's see what the decision says. The last time Sandy Ryan and Zepeda were on the same card, Sandy Ryan got robbed against McCaskill as well. So we'll see if there's any kind of funny business here. Ricky Hatton looks a little bit. I think he knows it wasn't a great performance. He looks nervous in the crowd. Now, I hope they give it to the right guy, though. Let's see. Maybe we'll get a draw. $98, $92. 97, 94. 97, 95. Okay, so unanimous decision. Who's it going to be? Flint. Yeah, okay. Flint. Huh. I'm surprised at the cards, though. I thought at least one of them was going to give it to Hatton, honestly. I'm surprised at that. I didn't think it was going to be a unanimous decision. I thought if Flint won, because Hatton's the house fighter, I thought Hatton would probably win on at least one of the scorecards. Wow. Well, good for him. But the thing is, like, it's not that big of a deal that Campbell Hatton lost in a way because he's not that experienced. So, excuse me, I just don't think it needs to ruin his career or be that big of a deal. Like, he's just very inexperienced. Eddie Hearn's disappointed, you can tell. Flint looks like he's been beat up a lot more, actually. I wonder if we'll get a rematch of this one. Eddie Hearn looks devastated. Eddie Hearn is so unhappy. Let's hear what he has to say. The crowd seemed into Flint, though. All right, what does Campbell have to say? You can tell that Eddie was not expecting that. But Flint did well, though. So just listening to the interview with Matthew Hatton or with Campbell Hatton, even he doesn't seem that upset that he lost. Honestly, he doesn't seem to feel like he won. So yeah, they're talking about a rematch. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rematch, just because I think they'll want Campbell Hatton to try and get rid of or revenge this loss, basically, just for the sake of building up his record. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a rematch of this one. But he's got to improve. Like, his defense is not good. He's just way, 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 way too open to getting hit, like Roy Munson said, with the hooks, uppercuts, especially the uppercuts. He got hit a lot, but he was leaning his head in the clinches so much. If he doesn't fix that up in the rematch, he's going to probably lose even worse next time. His defense is not good. What does Eddie Hearn have to say? He's trying his best to put a positive spin on it. So Eddie says that Campbell couldn't have done any more than he did. And to be honest, I agree. I don't think his skills are good enough at this point. They're talking about the rematch, but I don't think his skills are good enough at this point. I think he needs to improve his defense significantly. And I don't know if, honestly, he should be getting back in the ring against I don't think he wants to have an immediate rematch unless he actually improves his defense significantly, honestly. So Davis against Williamson is coming up next, by the way. Yeah, I don't think Campbell Hatton really thought he won that fight. He needs to improve his defense a lot. And yeah, I mean, the reality is he's not really a great prospect at this point, skill wise. It's just a lot to do with the fact that his dad is a big name, obviously. But you know, if you think about it this way, though, I mean, Ricky Hatton is famous for beating Costa Zoo, and Tim is main eventing a show next weekend, and Tim Zoo is Costa's son is at a much more advanced stage in his career than Ricky Hatton's son Campbell is. I was actually looking forward to the I was interested to watch the Manuel Char Kubrat Pulev fight next weekend. So I was disappointed that one got canceled with the injury. It's still going to be a really, really good weekend of boxing next weekend over Easter, though, because there was going to be the Char Pulev fight, but there's still the Oscar Valdez Liam Wilson card. There's the Zoo Fundura card, obviously. I'm looking forward to Pitbull Cruz against Rolly Romero as well. That's going to be really good. And even Zurdo Ramirez against my mind's gone blank now. Zurdo Ramirez against Gulamirian in the cruiserweight division. And then on Sunday as well, there's the British heavyweight title fight at the O2 in London between Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley. So I think we have 3 fights left on the main card, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've got one more coming up next. And then after that, it's Sandy Williamson and Terri Harper. And then after that, it looks like we're going to get Smith against Zepeda in the main event. So it looks like we got 3 more to go. Still, I'm glad that the decision went the way it did on the last one. We're just in an ad break as well, guys. I don't know I'm not 100% sure who's going to win the main event either. Like I say, I'm leaning towards Dalton Smith, but it wouldn't shock me if Zepeda won either. I wasn't super impressed with him in his last fight against Richards and Hitchens. So we'll see, though. It's going to be interesting. And like I say, I think Sandy Ryan is probably, I'm leaning to Sandy Ryan to beat Terri Harper, but we'll see that one as well. What fights are you guys looking forward to coming up over the next few months the most? I'm not really looking forward to Canelo against Manguia as much, truthfully. I would have liked to have seen Canelo against quite a few other people, honestly. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to fight David Benavidez, which is the one I would have liked to have seen. Haney against Garcia. I know a lot of people are making a big deal out of the fact that Ryan is kind of going, it looks like he's going off the deep end. But even if that wasn't the case, I still think Devin Haney would have beat Ryan Garcia pretty handily anyway. So I think this way, it just makes it even more, I think, one-sided. But to me, it's still going to be the same outcome either way. Lomachenko against Gambosis is another good one coming up. I mean, there's so many good fights coming up. Even the Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor rematch should be decent. They haven't, I don't believe they've officially actually announced Bivol and Beterbiev as well, but I'm assuming that is definitely happening. And then obviously, I know, Mithrandir. Yeah, exactly. I know. Well, I'm going to make the live streams a regular thing now. I'm going to do them every weekend. For whatever happens to be the biggest card on. I need to make sure I sort out whatever connection problems I had earlier on now that killed the thing. But yeah, I'll be doing them. I'm going to do 3 next weekend, actually. I was going to do 4, but they canceled the Pulev card, so I won't be doing that one. But I will be doing the one on Friday, next Friday, which is Sinisa Estrada on the undercard, and then Valdez against Wilson. And then I'll be doing the Zoo Fundura on Saturday, and then the heavyweight one on Sunday. So I'll be doing 3 next weekend. So I hope you guys will join me for some of those. All right, so what are we getting next? Oh, no, wait, we're getting a promo. It's a promo for Taylor against Catterall. I am looking forward to this one. I wish that the rematch had happened sooner, but still, I didn't think Jack Catterall looked great in his last fight. And then obviously Josh Taylor lost to Tio. But still, it's an interesting fight. Who wins that one, guys? Does anybody think? When it May 25th. Okay, yeah. Who wins that one, guys? Haney Garcia, Canelo Munguia, Fury Usyk. Fury Usyk is going to be a really good card. I'm also looking forward to Jai against Maris Breedis on that card as well. But I talked about this last week, but the weird thing on that card is actually Kovalev fighting. I didn't even realize he was making a comeback, but I'm interested to see what he looks like. So, it's Ishmael Davis against Troy Williamson, which is in the super welterweight division, and that's coming up next. And then I think So I think we have Davis against Williamson, Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper, and then the main event. So I think that's what we've got. So I would guess we're probably going to be potentially still 2 hours from the main event, depending on how long these ones go. If they both go the distance, we might be 2 hours from the main event still, I would think. Although the women's fight's shorter, so that will speed things along a little bit. All right, Troy Williamson, here we go. Oh yeah, I forgot about that at the weigh-in actually as well. Williamson was overweight by quite a bit. Did anyone watch the card last night? The York Hall card last night? I still need to catch up on. I know the results, but I still need to actually catch up on watching some of the fights. I don't know if it's good or bad to miss weight by that much. Like, I guess it means that maybe he didn't have to kill himself as much to make weight. But on the other hand, I don't know. We'll see. Ishmael Davis getting booed a little bit by the crowd, it sounds like. Not major booing, but he's getting booed a little bit. He's doing his ring walk now. Okay. Yeah. I was happy for Ashley Lane, though, that he won that one. You could tell that it meant a lot to him. Because he was homeless and all kinds of stuff. So I was happy for that guy that he won. And Moses Italma improved as well to, what is he now, 8-0, I think. Moses Italma, to me, is him and Jalalov are the two guys that are, I think, probably the next two big names that maybe people who don't follow boxing that closely don't really know about yet, but they're going to break through in the next couple of years. Jalalov, especially if he wins the gold medal again, because that guy is going to be a problem for a lot of the top heavyweights once he actually starts fighting professionally full time. All right, guys. What's going to be the more competitive fight next weekend as well? Is it going to be Rolly against Pitbull? Or, I mean, Tim Tszyu is going to win, surely, but I think that fight's going to be entertaining while it lasts. And who knows, maybe Fundura lands something, but I mean, Tim Tszyu, I really like Tim Tszyu, but Pitbull against Rolly should be a good one as well. Like that card next weekend, the Vegas card is really good in my opinion. It's not loaded down with like some of the top rank shows have got a lot of mismatches on them, and then they have like a somewhat competitive main event. But this one it's a smaller card, it's more shrunk down, but it's got pretty solid competitive fights across the board on it, on the pay-per-view portion anyway. So I'm super, super looking forward to that one. So on my stream, we're still just getting through the introductions here. Williamson just got introduced by David Diamante. So we're just a couple of seconds away from round number 1 starting here. And then we're 2 fights from the main event. I hope the main event actually ends up being a close competitive fight, because there's been competitive fights on the undercard so far. I think this one could be as well. All right, guys. Just refreshing my stream here as well. Just about to get round 1 underway. Who's winning this one, guys? Let me know. Technical difficulties. What can I say? I need to get the internet sorted out, I think, before I do these streams more regularly. All right, guys. So here we go. Round 1. What I'm expecting to be fairly competitive. Let me know, guys, as well, if there's any fights you want me to cover in particular coming up, in terms of previews and stuff like that. I'll be covering most of the big ones, but let me know if there's anything in particular. Both of these guys look big for the weight, though. Davis in particular, though. All right, guys. Jab misses from Davis. Williamson's in the center of the ring, but he just got hit with an overhand right. Didn't do any damage, but he got hit with a big punch. Davis missed with the jab. It's a clinch again. Williamson, I should say. Both guys trying to wrestle in the clinches. Exchange uppercuts. Oh. Williamson is still on the front foot. Both guys are being careful, though. They're not just wildly throwing shots. It's been quite a bit of clinching in this first round so far. That's it. End of round number 1. Wasn't the most exciting round of the card so far. Not a ton of action. It was mostly in the clinches, really. Just listening to what they're saying in the corner as well. Okay, so that's interesting. There, Davis asked in the corner if that pace is all right, and they told him it was fine. So it looks like that's intentional, that they're fighting a kind of a slow pace right now. You're eating chicken noodles while watching this. All right, guys, round 2. Round 2 getting underway. All right. Ooh, Williamson and Davis both landing with some jabs. Williamson managed to counter Davis and hit him with an uppercut as well. So Davis is on the front or rather Williamson's on the front foot, but Davis is the one actually landing more shots right now. Body shot lands from Davis. Jab gets right through the high guard for Williamson. He lands with it. Another clinch again. Williamson throwing punches at the head, getting caught by the gloves of Davis. Ooh. Davis landed a nice uppercut, but Williamson came back with a hook. Both guys are being very cautious. Like I say, they told Davis in the corner to keep fighting at this pace. But he's being very selective in what shots he's throwing. Both guys are just kind of circling around each other. They didn't throw any shots, and then they go into the clinch. Referee, or they get broken up, but still no shots actually being thrown. Both guys just circling the ring. Big overhand misses from Williamson. And he's got Davis up against the ropes again, but it's in the clinch. Davis is doing a good job of smothering in the clinches, to be fair. He's doing a lot better than Campbell Hatton did in the last round, the last fight. Of actually, because there's no point being in the clinch and then just getting blasted to the body and the chin. He's actually managing to spoil. Williamson is repeatedly backing Davis up, but he's not actually doing any damage. That's true. This is not the best, honestly, fight of the card so far. This has been the worst of the three on the main card. It's been the most boring. I don't think either guy is both guys are being very selective what punches they throw. Let me put it that way. It's been mostly in the clinches here. The whole thing has been basically going on in the clinches. Both guys, I mean, they're saying in the corner, fight at this pace, but I think you can pick it up a bit more than that. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit of a snoozer. Okay. They're telling Williamson in his corner to be more aggressive when Davis switches to the southpaw stance. But I mean, really, he just needs to throw some more punches in general at any point. Whoever actually goes out there and takes control of this round, neither guy has really done anything so far. I think we're going to get a lot more action than this, though, in the next fight, which is Sandy Williams against Sandy Ryan, even. What am I talking about? Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper. Have I seen the Dylan Dennis versus Logan Paul fight? Unfortunately, yes, I have. That might have genuinely been the worst. I'm not even saying that to exaggerate. Like, that was genuinely one of the worst. I don't even want to call it boxing. Like, it was kind of offensive to the sport, honestly. Like, I know it was a joke, but it was embarrassing watching it. This one's not as bad as that, though. Williamson is he's just walking Davis down, but he's not really throwing anything, and there he gets hit on the chin. This is a 12-rounder as well, so it's going to be a slog if it keeps going at this pace. Although now they're exchanging a little bit in the corner. Back in the clinch, though. I don't know how many people actually bought that fight on pay-per-view, Logan Paul against Dylan Dennis, but I hope it wasn't as many as they said. I hope that they just made up those numbers, because that's really a shame that it got more attention than so many actually good fights. I didn't even know there was a third brother. Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. Ha ha ha. Okay. I get it. Yes. Jake Paul, it looks like he's at least training seriously, I guess, but the Floyd Mayweather Logan, the thing that's embarrassing to me though about it is that the I mean, they can do whatever they want, but it's a shame to me that some boxing legends like Floyd Mayweather and now Mike Tyson are getting involved in these stupid fights. Like Floyd against Logan Paul was terrible. Um, and now I was about to say Floyd against Jake Paul. Mike Tyson against Jake Paul was terrible. And it's just kind of embarrassing, because this is what a lot of people who don't follow boxing, see as boxing. I know that, they're all getting paid off of it, but it's disrespectful to the sport, in my opinion. And you don't see stuff like this happening as much in other sports. Like, it doesn't happen in tennis. You don't have Jake Paul playing tennis. You don't have, I mean, this certainly is not happening in the UFC with these exhibition fights. So I wish that even the Dylan Dennis Logan Paul fight, neither of them is a real boxer. But when you have boxing legends getting involved in these, it's a real shame. Yeah, I'd never really seen YouTube boxing really before I watched that Logan Paul against Dylan Dennis card. And I was not expecting it to be very good, but I was surprised how bad it was. Like, I genuinely was surprised at how bad it was, even relative to what I thought the level would be. Like, the fights on the undercard, especially, I mean, some of the guys looked like they'd never even put a pair of gloves on before. Which, they probably hadn't until about a few weeks before the fight, but yeah, I mean, it was bad. Yeah, exactly. Logan Paul against George Foreman. I really hope that won't happen. What was that other David Hay one against his friend? I didn't even watch that one. But wasn't there one where David Hay fought Joe Fournier? That was another one where you had a serious boxer getting involved in one of these stupid cards. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, I'm sorry, it's terrible, and I know that people say it brings attention to boxing. I'm sorry, I'm not really commenting on this fight as well as much too, but there's just not a lot going on, guys. Both guys are being very careful with what shots they throw, and there's just not a lot of action going on. But when it comes to the YouTube boxing, I just wish that the serious fighters weren't getting involved with it, and kind of it makes them kind of look desperate for a payday, and it's embarrassing for the sport. Davis against Williamson here are in the fourth round, by the way. We've got a minute and a half to go in the fourth round. Davis just got tagged on the chin twice with a jab from Williamson out of the southpaw stance. The action, such as it is taking place in the middle of the ring, but there really isn't a whole lot of action going on. I mean, neither guy wants to let his hands go. It's about one punch being thrown every 10 seconds. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Cash. I can't post those on here. I don't want to do that as well, because I just hit the 1,000 subscribers today, which was a big surprise. I didn't expect to, and so I don't want to get shut down for posting the streaming link. It's on DAZN though. Everyone can watch it on DAZN. Is the Sky card Wardley against Fraser Clark on pay-per-view in the UK, guys? Or is it just on TV? I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight, but it wouldn't shock me if they try to put it on pay-per-view. Is that pay-per-view or no? Both guys are doing their best to not land any punches here. That was the end of whatever round it was. One day, hopefully. Yes, Roy. That would be amazing. 100,000 would be fantastic. I hope so. One day. Yeah, the Joyce versus Ali fight, it's not pay-per-view. Okay. The Joyce versus Ali fight, it was entertaining. I just wish that Joe Joyce had been in better shape. But he won. It looked like he couldn't even get the knockout, though, even though at the end, Ali looked like he was ready to fall over from a strong breeze. I didn't think he was going to actually stop him, but then he did at the end. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, thank you, Roy. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Carl Froch be jealous at that. Maybe Carl Froch will make a comeback on one of the YouTube. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. John Fury against Carl Froch. Yes. I wonder if someone like Carl Froch will ever get lured out of retirement. Especially, I don't know. Would Carl Froch come out of retirement to fight George Groves in a third fight? Would he come out of retirement? I don't know. Tony Bellew's always talking about fighting again. I don't know if either of those guys will actually do it, though. But I hope if they do, it's actually serious boxing and not some exhibition junk. We're in round 5, by the way. Yeah, well, to be fair, that would be good. Except Jake Paul won't fight him. I mean, he's fighting Mike Tyson because he thinks he's going to beat a guy that's 30 years older than him. He's not going to fight Carl Froch. And it wouldn't even matter that Carl Froch probably would be smaller than Jake Paul, or lighter anyway. I mean, the fight, based on what I've seen from Jake Paul, I think the fight would go less than 1 round, assuming Carl Froch was actually trying to win. The only way it would go the distance is if Carl Froch decided to try and beat Jake Paul up as much as possible, but not stop him, just so the fight would go on longer. That won't happen, though. Jake Paul's not going to fight anybody. He'll just keep fighting big names that aren't going to actually threaten him, really, for whatever various reasons, whether because they're older or because they're not boxers or because his last opponent wasn't even a full-time boxer. Williamson is in the center of the ring now and throwing some jabs, and he's landing a few punches, and that's about it, really. I don't know why both guys are not trying more in this one, because nobody's taking control of the fight. I know it's easy for me to say watching it. I'm not in the ring, but it does look like if either one of them was to step on the gas, they would actually be able to take control of the fight. Unless they're just so worried about the power punches coming back. But there really hasn't been any any stage of the fight where either guy's been in trouble. Yeah. Well, he should. And I think a lot of people are fed up with the way in which Jake Paul is actually being very successful at promoting these shows, and a lot of people are watching them at the expense of actual boxing. And that's the problem. I think if it was just his own thing that he was doing, because people are talking about it being good for boxing, but it's not, because the attention it's bringing is not causing anybody to actually watch real boxing. Okay, guys. So they're advertising Fury against Usyk. Who thinks it's actually going to happen this time? My guess is it probably will, because I think Tyson is going to be too embarrassed if anything happens this time, but I'm not positive. We still haven't got Fury against David Haye or the Klitschko rematch, so it wouldn't be absolutely shocking if something happened this time. I mean, technically Usyk could get injured too. Keith Thurman just got hurt. It's possible. We're in round 6, by the way, now, guys. So Davis is in the corner, and he's trying to land some hooks on Williamson. Williamson is falling forward in the clinch, but now he's coming back with a right hand and another right hand of his own. He's trying to hit Davis to the body. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually sickening in that sense. You're right. Because I think the problem with it now is it's encouraging a lot of younger fighters to want to actually be celebrities more than actual boxers, basically. I think that's a problem. So Williamson and Davis are here in the center of the ring. Not a lot of actual action, punches being landed, but it is close. Both guys are. Oh, thank you, Jerry. I hope you're having a good weekend. So Davis and Williamson are in the clinch here again. I don't know who's going to be winning this fight on the scorecards, but it's been very low volume, but fairly evenly matched as far as I can tell. Davis now landing a combination. Williamson firing back. Both guys exchanging uppercuts right up close on the inside. Neither guy is wanting to clinch. They're trying to look for an opening and exchange on the inside. Davis with an overhand right. Williamson with a body shot. Davis misses with an uppercut. More uppercuts being exchanged. Both guys connecting to the body. They're going toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Not a lot of these shots are actually landing, but they're not clinching and holding either. They're trying to exchange their way out of this situation. Both guys throwing, but not landing because they're hitting the forearms. Ooh. Williamson got tagged there, though. It rocked his head back. And that's the end of round 6. That was a shot that Williamson felt at the end there. He's got swelling under his, or a bruise under his left eye as well. He's not cut, but he's got bruising under his left eye. They're icing it now. Trainer's telling him in the corner not to stand in front of him, and it's true. Both guys didn't want to take a backward step in that round, but basically, it's still all to play for in this fight. Davis, I think, had some big punches at the end of the round. He hit Williamson square in the face right at the end of the round. Davis has stood up in the corner every round in this fight as well, whereas Williamson looks a little bit more fatigued in his corner. So I think we've got 2 more fights, or 1 more fight before the main event after this one, which is the Harper against Sandy Ryan. Williamson coming out strong, though, to start round number 7. So this one's a 12-rounder, by the way, not 10-rounder. Williamson's trying to come out on the front foot and be a bit more aggressive here. And he does land on the chin of Davis. Whew. That's a good idea, actually, Roy. That is a good idea, actually. Maybe I should watch a throwback one more frequently. I was watching Hearns against Hagler this week, actually. All right, both guys still trying to take control of the center of the ring. Now Williamson backs Davis up against the ropes. Davis looks, I would say, a little bit fresher to me. Williamson missed with a jab. Davis is trying to stay at range and pick his shots. Williamson's trying to walk him down. Jab goes over the top of the head of Davis. Davis then big swing and a miss with a hook. It's really Williamson's round if he can actually connect with these shots, because he's managing to walk Davis down. But then when he gets up close, Davis is actually being able to counter. I think Williamson is standing too much in front of him when he actually closes the distance, and he's getting caught. He's backing him up, but Davis is then actually doing the damage when they get up close. And it's because Williamson is standing too much in front of him with his hands down. Williamson is struggling to keep his hands up, actually. He's not doing a very good job of defending his face this round. There's 30 seconds left. Williamson's probably landed more volume, but Davis has probably had the harder punches. Oh, it's on a YouTube page. Oh, okay. What is that, like a private page or like a public page? All right. End of round 7, guys. Williamson is looking more fatigued now. And Davis, even though he didn't throw as many punches, looks more fresh. Yeah, guys, I am super, super excited for Fury against Usyk as well. It's crazy to think that it's taken this much time as well to get all 4 belts unified in the heavyweight division. I mean, the last time when Lennox Lewis fought for the undisputed title, I don't think anybody probably realized it would take this long for another fight to get made. But I really hope it will actually happen on May 18th. I'm super excited. And yes, I will be streaming for that one for the whole thing. It's going to be good. Whoever wins that one, like all kidding aside, whoever wins that one, it's going to be a really historic achievement for as much as, Davis comes out and lands a big right hand at the start of round 8. Williamson's eye is swollen a lot, though. It's a low-key channel. Okay. But it's only a small channel. Okay, yeah. I would, yeah, please do, Roy. I would appreciate that, actually. I'd like to check that out, seriously. So thank you. I would like to check that out. Usyk would school Fury, but it won't happen. I hope it does happen. I really do hope that it does. And even if Fury does win, and I've been complaining about him a lot recently, I mean, it's going to be an incredible achievement for whoever wins to get all those belts, because it's going to be the first time, and it's only going to be the first time once. So whoever wins that one, and I mean, if it's Usyk, what a career that guy will have had. So anyway, back to this fight, guys. Eighth round, 2 minutes to go. Williamson with a bunch of swelling now underneath his left eye, and Davis is trying his best to take advantage of that. He's trying to pick big shots from the outside. Williamson, he's looking tired. Davis is looking fresher. Williamson is blinking as well through that swollen eye. Davis got hit on the chin, and Williamson throws a couple of more shots. The only thing Davis needs to do is his volume might not be high enough, and he's rectifying that now because he's letting his hands go on the inside. It looks like if he would step back, rather, he could catch Williamson with the hook because Williamson's hands are very low, but instead it's actually Williamson who lands about 3 jabs in a row. See, there we go. Now Davis lands the hook, a couple of hooks, because Williamson's hands, as he gets more fatigued, he's dropping them, especially on the inside. It's leaving him wide open, and Davis is taking advantage in these clinches. He's hitting with hooks. Now he lands with 2 uppercuts. The 3rd uppercut lands. Davis is doing well here. Fury hasn't beat anyone other than Klitschko, and he failed to rematch. Yes, well, it's a shame we never got that rematch, and we never will now because Klitschko is not going to come back. But having said that, this fight is heating up here a little bit. I was just looking at the chat. Now the referees sent them to the corners. I'm not sure what's happened here. We got 35 seconds left in the round now. 8th round. Oh, the gum shield came out. That's what happened. Okay. Williamson's trying to throw and claw back some of this round, but Davis looks very focused. Davis is looking for the knockout here. Williamson keeps blinking that left eye because it's swollen underneath. I don't think he can see very well out of it, but he does manage to catch Davis. Davis is on the defensive to end round number 8. You can see the eye of Williamson twitching. It's not massively swollen, but it looks like it's causing him problems because he keeps blinking it during the rounds. Sandy Ryan or Terri Harper, please. Yeah, so I'm going with Sandy Ryan, but we'll see. We'll see. That's coming up next, I think. We got 3 more rounds of this one. 4 more rounds, actually. That was round 8. We got 4 more rounds of this one. And then after that, so probably I would guess if this one goes the distance, Sandy Ryan and Terri Harper probably will start in about 40 minutes, I would guess. Meaning we're probably about an hour and a half away from the main event. Assuming that Sandy Ryan and Terri Harper go the distance, which I don't know if they will or not, but we'll see. Happy Saturday, Carl Anthony. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I appreciate you all for tuning in for this one. So, okay, here we go. Round number 9. Round number 9, Davis and Williamson. It's actually turned into a much better fight than it was at the beginning. It was a bit of a snoozer early on, but it's picked up quite a bit now. Both guys exchanging jabs. Williamson is connecting more, but Davis fires back, jab down the pipe, lands on the chin. Body shot connects from Williamson. Another couple of jabs, 3 jabs, triple jabs landing from Williamson. But it doesn't look like they're doing a ton of damage, but they are connecting. They are scoring points. And one thing they are doing, they're keeping Davis from letting his own hands go. So every time Williamson is landing with one of these shots, Davis is freezing up and he's not returning fire. He just missed with a hook there as well, did Davis. More good shots landing from Williamson. Williamson's doing well this round. Oh, what round is Ryan and Harper? Oh, it hasn't started yet. I think it's probably going to start. So this fight is in round 9. And then I believe Ryan against Harper is coming up next. More exchanging on the inside. This has been a better round from Williamson, but he is getting tagged here. Davis is landing some big shots. Davis is trying to find an uppercut, but he didn't connect with anything meaningful there. And Williamson lands a couple of more shots. Williamson, ooh. Williamson's probably winning this round, but he took some big shots from Davis, and that could turn the fight at any point. Davis needs to throw more volume, though, I think, in order to try and pull this round back. It's kind of a question of if you prefer Williamson's volume versus Davis's power punches. Another shot's landing from Williamson. 25 seconds left in the round, I should say. Both guys looking very tired. Williamson again nearly gets caught with a big uppercut. Davis is having another good moment here where he's landed a couple of big shots. Williamson firing back. Both guys trading big shots. That's the end of the round. All right. So we've got 3 rounds to go now in this one. And then after that, we're going to get into Harper against Sandy Ryan. Williamson is looking very tired in his corner. Williamson got hit with some big bombs in that round. But he actually didn't get rocked as much as he probably should have. Davis had some good punches, actually. You can see on the replay, he landed some big shots clean. Either guy here, I think, still can win this fight. All right. We got 3 rounds to go now. Round 10 is just getting underway, guys. Again, the jab being effective for Williamson. Williamson misses with a right hand. And he gets caught on the chin from Davis. Davis is doing a much better job of keeping his hands high, but he is still getting caught with the jab straight down the middle. 3 rounds to go in this fight, as it's in round 10. So assuming it goes the distance, it will be 3 more rounds, including this one. So we got 2 minutes left in round 10. And then Ryan against Harper should be up next. All right. Williamson is having another good round here. These last 2 rounds have been really good for him so far. Big John versus Mike Tyson. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. John Fury hasn't actually had any boxing matches on any of these cards, though. So I don't know if he actually wants to do that or if he just wants to call people out. Because he's called out, I think, a lot of people, but none of them have actually happened. Ryan Harper is 3rd round. No. So there are 3 rounds to go between Davis and Williamson. And then Ryan Harper will be the next fight. So a minute left in this round. Couple of nice shots landed from Williamson. But he's keeping his hands very low. It's just that he's on the outside. And he's got a good chin. He's a tough man. Davis is landing shots. And Williamson is firing back, but he's not keeping his hands up and he's not getting his head out of the way. It's like he's just blocking the shots with his chin at this point. He's been hit literally about 10 times in the last 30 seconds. The 2 more rounds to go after this one. So both guys landing some big shots. I mean, both guys have got a good chin, but Williamson in particular has got a very good chin because he's just getting blasted with shots here. I'm not kidding. He's taken about 20 clean punches in the last minute of this round. Not all of them huge bombs, but the bell goes and he got hit a lot. And his chin held up, so credit to him. But you can tell he's tired. as he goes back to his corner. He just needs to either move his head or his feet or keep his hands up, but he's not really doing either of those things, any of those things. He's standing straight in front of Davis. He's got his hands low and he's not moving his head. And that's just making him very easy to hit. But the only problem is Davis seems pretty tired himself. He's not really letting his hands go. And then secondly, Williamson has a very good chin. And so as a result, he's managing to get away with it. But otherwise, if Davis was a little bit fresher and Williamson didn't have a good chin, then he would be in trouble here, I think, because he's eating a lot of punches. Him and Campbell Hatton both took a lot of shots clean on the chin. So this is round 11 now. Still could go either way, in my opinion. Davis gets hit with the jab there. Both guys now in the clinches. You wish you could do the Ali shuffle. All right, 2:30 to go. Davis is just too exhausted to let his hands go. He's sitting on the outside and getting pot shotted right now. Williamson, even though he's getting tagged more, his gas tank is better, it looks like. Davis is really muscular, and I don't know if that's making him fatigue more as well. He's very, very muscular on his upper body. And you can see he's having trouble here because he's getting backed into the corner by Williamson. And he's not got the energy to throw, even though he does land a couple of shots there, but he's not got the energy to keep up with the volume of Williamson. He's just playing defense, connecting with a couple of shots here and there, but it's not doing enough. Now Davis manages to get through. In the clinches, he's having more success because Williamson is not protecting his chin. Davis is dropping Williamson's hands with body shots, and then he's trying to go over the top with the hooks, and it's working, but only on the inside. When Davis is at range, Williamson is able to pot shot him, and he's having the success. Now on the inside in the clinches like they are now, it's probably Davis who's doing better. So Davis is now actually managing to have success on the inside. There's 50 seconds left in this round. You can tell the eye is giving Williamson problems as well, but he's doing very well. Even if he doesn't win this fight, which I think he probably will if he keeps going like this. He has shown a lot of heart, a lot of toughness. More shots landed from Williamson. This is going to be his round if he can keep this up, in my opinion. Williamson's eye is completely closed now. But Davis is just gassed. Right now, it's the toughness, the gas tank, and the activity of Williamson that I think are giving him the advantage, basically. I think that's essentially what he's got going for him. All right. They're trying to cover up that eye with ice and stop the swelling, but they've only got to do it for one more round. Davis is gassed in the corner, though. He's very tired, you can tell. I mean, both guys have been letting their hands go increasingly in these later rounds, so it's not surprising. But Davis, like I say, he's just more muscular, and I think that's part of the reason why he's struggling a little bit. Conditioning-wise, I mean. It looks like he's got more power on his punches. No, Ryan versus Harper will be on next. It's starting next. So, last round, guys. Davis versus Williamson. So Williamson is fighting off of the ropes here. He got hit clean on the chin by Davis. Davis is suddenly managed to actually find some stamina out of somewhere, because he is letting his hands go here on Williamson. Both guys are fatigued. Williamson missed with a big straight right. Clinch in the center of the ring. 2 minutes to go. Either guy could possibly pull this out here still. All right. Williamson landing, or rather getting hit with a couple of big shots. Both guys deserve a lot of credit for the heart they've shown here. Both guys getting hit with big shots. Both guys are really fatigued. Davis is unloading on Williamson now, but Williamson is trying to fire back. They're in the center of the ring. They're clinching. Both guys are really trying their best here, but they're so tired. Ooh. Davis getting hit with some shots. Williamson is trying to work Davis to the body, but that's allowing Davis to fire back with hooks. Williamson now getting hit. And he tries to throw, but he misses. Davis and Williamson, 45 seconds to go. Big shot lands from Davis. Davis is looking very focused here. 30 seconds left. They're in the clinch, but if anyone's going to land a big bomb, it looks like it's more likely to be Davis. Davis is trying his best to get the stoppage here by breaking out of the clinch and trying to land a big bomb. He might need it as well, depending on how you're scoring this one. Both guys are tired. Both guys exhausted. Both guys trying to let their hands go in the center of the ring. Davis is just content, I think, to let the last few seconds elapse. Harper next. She'll win on points. Yeah, I think that fight is coming up next. Let's see. Let's see. All right. That's the end of this one, guys. Davis is acting like he won the fight. Williamson's acting like, well, he's not celebrating as much, basically. Let's put it that way. You can see the eyes swollen up pretty good from Williamson there as well in the corner. The doctor's just looking him over. He took some big bombs. Davis ended that round stronger. Davis was the one who looked better at the end of that round. I don't know. It's interesting which way this is going to go. I'm not sure. It ended up being a good fight in the end, though. It started out really slow, but it ended up being a good fight by the end. Davis got hit with some, or rather, Williamson got hit with some big bombs. Let's see what the judges' scorecards call it. So, Harper is going to be on next against Sandy Ryan. Remember, that one as well is the co-main event. And then we have Zepeda against Dalton in the main event. 2 more fights. Ryan wins on points. Okay. Yeah, I think Ryan will win. But we'll see. We'll see. I might be wrong. Haney against Garcia promo. Haney's going to win for sure. If Ryan Garcia wins, I'll be shocked. Haney's way too good. So we're just waiting for the verdict. Okay, guys, just getting the decision here. Yeah, I think Sandy Ryan wins as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Unanimous decision. Unanimous decision. Ishmael Davis. Okay. Williamson had some good rounds. It's hard to score them doing the live stream, but I thought Williamson had some good rounds, but Davis gets the decision. He improves to 13-0. It was a unanimous decision. So Ishmael Davis gets the win. Yeah, so Sandy Ryan is coming up next against Terri Harper. And yeah, we'll see how that one goes, I guess. Yeah, boxing is a tough sport. No kidding. That was both guys took a lot of bombs in that one. Ishmael Davis. All right, guys. Terri Harper, Sandy Ryan. Like I say, in my opinion, if it goes to points, yeah, I think Sandy Ryan will win. But I will say also, it's a shame that there's not 3 belts on the line here because Sandy Ryan should hold the belts that McCaskill has. But we'll see. Sandy Ryan's she's good though. I like her. I think she's good. And she did beat McCaskill. I feel very strongly about that. I am very, very convinced that she beat McCaskill. Sandy Ryan's only had a couple of fights as well. This is only what I think. She hasn't had 10 fights even yet. But I mean, to be fair, in women's boxing, you can get to a world title. I mean, even Ebony Bridges was a world champion and she didn't even start boxing, I think, until she was like 30 or 31. So you can get to world championship level much, much quicker in women's boxing. Smith, Zepeda, Austin, Smith. I will say Smith. Yeah, that was a terrible robbery. I honestly don't know what the judges were watching. Smith by 9th round stoppage. Okay, yeah. I think Smith will win. I don't know if it will be stoppage or points, but I think Smith wins. But yeah, it was a big robbery last time. So I hope Sandy Ryan wins this one as well. But yeah, I think most likely it's going to go to points. Most likely. I don't think there's probably going to be a stoppage in this one. The good thing about it is it's going to be a faster paced fight as well than the last one. So we should be at the main event. What's the ref doing? I must have missed something. I don't know. I didn't actually see anything. Zepeda is so slow. Yeah, I agree. I saw, like I said earlier, I saw Zepeda's last fight live, and I think he will lose, but I'm not 100% sure, but I do expect Smith to win. I didn't think Zepeda looked amazing, honestly. Sandy Ryan was on that same card though. Her and Zepeda were on the same card the last time they both fought. But yeah, a lot of ads just going on here, guys. So we're just waiting for anyone who's tuning into the chat and isn't actually watching the stream. First of all, the actual fight itself is airing on DAZN. Second of all, so this here is just going to be my commentary over the fight. So I won't be sharing any footage just because YouTube doesn't like it if you do that. So I'm not going to be doing that. And then we've got 2 fights left. So basically what I've put in the thumbnail is what's coming up next. Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper. And then we have the main event, Zepeda against Smith. So those are the 2 fights coming up. Sandy Ryan and Terri Harper probably goes to points, I think. And that means we're probably about, I'm going to say, just under an hour away from the main event, depending on how quickly the ring introductions go by. Sandy Ryan by KO. I doubt it, but I'd be surprised if that happens. But you never know. It's I guess possible, but I feel like it's a lot more likely that Sandy Ryan wins by points. I mean, who knows? Maybe Terri Harper wins. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. Maybe Terri Harper wins and I look like a fool. Yeah, it was a robbery. Ref stoppage for Dalton. Could be, yeah. I think Dalton wins. It could be a stoppage. Definitely. I could see that. All right, guys. Still waiting for the main event to get going. Now it's just another promo showing future fights coming up on DAZN. There is actually a good schedule on DAZN coming up. They're not all exclusive, in fairness. Some of them are airing on other networks as well, like Usyk against Fury, but still, there is some good fights coming up over the next few. How many more fights for Zepeda versus Smith? 1 more. So they've got 1 more. It's a women's fight, meaning it will be quicker. You wish you'd save a chicken noodle for the main event. Yeah. Gulamirian against Zerto next Saturday as well. I'm actually looking forward to it. But yeah, 1 more fight until the main event, guys. And like I say, I think they haven't even done the ring walks yet for Terri Harper and Sandy Ryan. So probably just under an hour until the main event actually starts, I would guess. But we'll see. It looks like we're about to get the ring introductions now. No, we're not. Still another interview. I think they're stalling for time a little bit here. This one's for the WBO title as well. But like I say repeatedly, it should be for all 3 or 3 of the 4 belts. Sandy Ryan, I think, wins this one on points. That's my prediction. They're asking if it's 50-50. I think Sandy Ryan's going to win it, but we'll see. Sandy Ryan in the last fight against McCaskill, she had a lot more. Her volume was what won her the fight. Like, she just landed a lot more shots than McCaskill did. McCaskill just did not land hardly any punches in that fight. So if Sandy Ryan uses the same, hasn't started yet. So we're just waiting for it to start. Jesus. We're just getting underway here with the ring walk. Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper. Williamson did lose. Yes, Davis won. That was the last fight. That was a unanimous decision on the scorecards. Davis won. Ishmael Davis beat Troy Williamson. Okay, so this is the co-main event. Sandy Ryan against Terri Harper, and David Diamante is just bringing out the introductions. Ooh, good question. Well, I guess, is he not the is Davis not mandatory for the British title now? So I guess that's going to be his next fight, right? I assume that that's what's coming up next. Okay, so Terri Harper is making her ring walk. Terri Harper is making her ring walk. She looks good. She looks confident. I think she's probably going to lose, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with how she looks, I don't think. But yeah, Davis, I think, for the British title, I think is what's going to happen next. Unless I'm mistaken. All right, so Sandy Ryan is making her ring walk now. Sandy Ryan's getting booed. That's rude. No, but they are booing her. Sandy Ryan making her ring walk now. She's getting booed by the crowd, but she's gonna win this one, I think. And she's relocated to Vegas for her next fight. Or for this fight, rather. Yeah, because that belt's vacant, actually, isn't it? That is a good one, actually. It could happen. Yeah, I would watch that. All right, guys. This one's going to go to the distance. I feel like that's much more likely. If there's a KO in this one, I'll be surprised. Sandy Ryan looks very confident, though. She's wearing the Derby County colors, black and white, or white and black, rather. Both ladies are in the ring now. David Diamante's just doing the final introductions in the ring. I think Sandy Ryan wins this one. Terri Harper, to me, is the underdog. Sandy Ryan looks very confident, though. Let's see what happens. And then after this, we've got the main event coming up. So, yeah, we'll see. Now they're just introducing the judges as well. One from England, one from Germany, one from Spain. I can't remember who the judges were for the last Sandy Williamson. Why do I keep calling her that? Sandy Ryan fight. But I really, really hope that they weren't the judges that there was none of these judges. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But I really hope that there's not the same judges. So this is going to be 10 2-minute rounds. Remember, because it's a women's fight. So it's going to be over more quickly, even if it goes the distance. Meaning, I think we're an hour away from the start of the main event. So Terri Harper is 14-1-2, and Sandy Ryan is 6-1-1. But in reality, she's 7-1 because she has one loss and then she has one draw. But really, that draw should be a win. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not a real number on her record. They're just introducing Terri Harper now. She's getting the better reaction from the crowd. They're cheering for her more than they were for Sandy Ryan. I think Sandy Ryan's going to get booed when when David Diamante gives her introduction. Yeah, they're booing Sandy Ryan a lot. Yeah, she's getting a lot of boos. I guess she's technically Harper's technically the home fighter, kind of. Sandy Ryan being introduced. So we're seconds away from the start of this one, guys. 10 rounds for the WBO title. Both ladies just being given the final instructions by the referee. First bell is about to start. Let's go, guys. Here we go. We've been waiting for this one and for the main event for a while. Terri Harper and Sandy Ryan, both ladies ready to go. Opening bell sounds. Round one is underway. All right. Terri Harper comes out with the jab. Sandy Ryan and Terri Harper in the center of the ring. Couple of good jabs landed from Terri Harper. She's come out aggressively to start. Sandy Ryan is on the back foot. Terri Harper coming forward. She's thrown to the body. Sandy Ryan is digging in with a hook or with an uppercut as well. She looks like she's getting backed up a little bit. Terri Harper has landed more punches so far. She lands again there. This is being fought at a very aggressive pace so far. Both ladies trying to take control of the center of the ring. So Terri Harper has so far landed quite a few jabs on the chin of Sandy. Harper is definitely not intimidated here. She's coming out and she's trying to take control of this one straight away. Clinch on the inside now. Harper covering up. Sandy Ryan can't connect with any of her shots. They're just bouncing off the gloves of Terri Harper. Sandy Ryan digs to the body. Now Sandy's in the center of the ring. She's targeting Terri Harper to the body. She goes up top with the right hand as well. Terri comes back, though. This is all being fought in the center of the ring. Both ladies trying to just take control of the center of the ring. Nobody really wants to give an inch, really. Sandy misses with a couple of shots. Terri Harper stays out of range. Ooh, shot landed low from Sandy Ryan there. And then she pushes Terri Harper's head down at the end of the round. And that's the first round in the books. Terri Harper probably won that round, I feel like. But the Zepeda fight is in about an hour's time, I think. But Sandy Ryan came back stronger in the second half of that round. But Terri Harper has started well. So from her point of view, I think that was a good round. And Sandy Ryan came on strong in the latter half of the round. So both ladies, I think, going to come out aggressively here to start round number 2. Terry's getting off the stool. Sandy's ready to go. All right. The bell goes to start round 2. Straight back to the center of the ring here. Terri Harper is not backing down, but she is getting tagged with some big hooks from Sandy Ryan here. Ryan is really letting her hands grow. She's blasting Terri Harper with some big shots. Harper manages to eat them, though. Yeah, Wilder versus Zhang is going to be good if they actually throw punches, because Zhang and Wilder both didn't do a very good job against Parker. So Terri Harper, after getting hit quite a few times, is standing in the center of the ring and firing and exchanging with Sandy Ryan. This has been more of a Sandy Ryan round now. How you doing, James? Sandy Ryan, Terri Harper. Sandy Ryan, I think, for me, is winning this round. Sandy is just hitting Terri Harper more often than she's getting caught herself in this round. 30 seconds to go in the second round. Remember, these are 2-minute rounds as well, not 3 minutes, so they're going more quickly. Terri Harper getting caught again on the chin by Sandy. Sandy's probably targeted the head more than the body so far. And she's having a lot of success here. She pushes Terri's head down in the clinches, in the clinch rather. Sandy is coming forward very aggressively. She just caught Terri Harper with a big left hand at the end of the round. It rocked Terri's head back. I appreciate that, James. Yes, thank you. Doing my best here. Okay. So Sandy in her corner here. What's the corner telling her? I'm just trying to listen in as well. The corner is telling her to go to the body more. And to be fair, she didn't hit the body much in that last round. But she did actually unload to the head quite a few times. So I see why they're telling her to start the body or to target the body. She didn't really do it much. But she did get through with a lot of head punches. In terms of Sandy getting the stoppage, Terri Harper did get hit with a big bomb at the end of the round. I will say that. Round 3 is about to start. Okay, let's see what happens. How does Terri Harper look? Sandy's coming out aggressively on the front foot. She's walking Terri Harper down. Terri's firing back. She gets caught in the clinch. And Sandy's listened to her corner here. She's firing with the to the body more and then trying to come over top with hooks to the head. Yeah, Terri can't take the body punches. Well, Sandy has thrown more body punches this round than she did in the last one for sure. It definitely looks like the fight is starting to shift in Sandy's favor. Terri Harper looks like she doesn't like these big punches coming at her, and who would? But they're definitely having an effect. You can see that Sandy Ryan is having an effect here. There's less and less work coming back from Terri Harper. The action is taking place on the inside. There's clinches, there's holding, but Sandy Ryan is getting through with more punches, and it looks like they're the harder, more impactful shots as well. You can see that Sandy's shots have more zip on them. Terri Harper, the punches that are landing, they're not as hard, and you can see that. They're not doing as much to back Sandy up. He does double up the jab there, but Sandy immediately fires back to the body and alternates with hooks to the head. Terri Harper is in danger of going down here. She's backed up against the ropes. She falls forward into the clinch. There's 20 seconds to go in the round. Sandy Ryan is looking like she might actually be able to put Terri Harper down here. Sandy Ryan unloading. Terri Harper is trying to hold on. I think she's going to make it to the end of the round. She does. But that was definitely a Sandy Ryan round. I think at worst, Sandy is up 2-1 now for me. Maybe 3 rounds, depending on how you score that first one. Her trainer is telling her to, Sandy, that is, her trainer is telling her in the corner to sit on her shots more and stop tapping like she's an amateur. But I mean, to be fair, I thought she is actually landing the heavier shots. She is kind of throwing them a little bit off the back foot. I mean, I see what he's saying in the replay here. She could lean into some of these shots a bit more, especially because Terri Harper isn't firing a lot back. Sandy could be loading up on some of these shots a bit more, but they're definitely causing Terri Harper some problems. And I think Sandy is looking increasingly like she might be able to get the stoppage here as we start round number 4. How many of you guys think Sandy is going to get the stoppage here? I thought it would probably be Sandy Ryan by decision, but it's increasingly look like it might not go the distance. Terri Harper is holding on now, and it's all one-way traffic, really. Sandy Ryan is looking increasingly dominant as she connects with some hooks. Terri Harper is getting unloaded on here now. Another very good portion of the round from Sandy as she backs Harper up against the ropes. Yeah, not going the distance. I increasingly agree with that. I think Sandy Ryan is looking more and more dominant. She's got Terri Harper against the ropes. Terry's landing a couple of jabs here and there, but they're just not as powerful. Sandy just blasting her to the head pretty much at will at this point. The only thing I think that's helping Terri Harper is that Sandy Ryan is not loading up on her shots as much as she could be. She's throwing with more volume, and I think some more well-timed power shots would actually be effective here. Stoppage could be coming, James. I agree. There aren't a lot of stoppages in women's boxing. That is absolutely true, but it does look like there could be one in this fight. 30 seconds left now. Fourth round. Sandy is they're getting separated by the referee, and straight away Sandy goes back in. She's landing big right hands, big hooks on the chin of Harper. Ryan got hit with the jab straight down the pipe a couple of times. You can tell Sandy Ryan is really looking for the stoppage here. I think Terri Harper is going to see the end of round number 4, and she gets tagged at the end of the round. Another dominant Sandy Ryan round. I think at worst she's up 3-1, maybe 4-0 at this point. How are you guys scoring this? If I'm sticking with what I said earlier and I'm giving Terri Harper that first round, then I think Sandy's up 3 rounds. Oh, it's over. It's over. Terri Harper didn't come out of her corner. Huh. Okay. So yeah, Sandy Ryan gets the stoppage after Terri Harper retires on her stool in between rounds. Now, I have to say, I think she probably could have come back out there. It looked like she was probably, yeah, you did actually. Credit to you. I thought it was going to go to points, but Terri Harper, I mean, we have to be fair. She quit on her stool. We have to be fair and call it what it was. She did quit on her stool. Like, objectively, that's what happened. So Sandy Ryan gets the stoppage. Terri Harper, it looks like she could have come out, honestly. Like, even after the stoppage was called, she wasn't, I mean, she looked pretty fresh. Let me say that. I'm not in the ring, and it's easy to say that for me, but she looked reasonably fresh. It looked like she could have continued, but yeah, exactly. Should have bet on it. Yeah, the body work of Sandy Ryan was key to winning that fight. You could just tell there was a difference in strength and punching power. That was too much. Sandy Ryan was dominant in the end in that fight, even more dominant than I thought she would be. That was a dominant performance by Sandy Ryan. And for those that don't watch women's boxing very often, KOs are not very common. So it's extra impressive because there weren't even a lot of knockouts on this whole card. I'm just thinking, yeah, that was the first fight that's actually ended in a stoppage, and it was the women's fight. So you don't see that very often, but that's a testament to Sandy Ryan's punching power. 7-2 on the KO, or just on Ryan to win? On the winner by any means. Was that set, James? Was that 7-2 on Ryan just to win or to win by KO? Oh, not the distance. Okay. That, yeah. So Sandy Ryan wins after Terri Harper quits on her stool. And that was impressive. In some ways, I mean, it was probably more impressive than the McCaskill win in the sense that she actually got the stoppage, but arguably McCaskill is a a better opponent. But yeah, congratulations to Sandy Ryan. So it looks like moving to Vegas has been a good move for her career so far. She gets the stoppage victory in round 4. Yeah, don't bet too much. Still, though, congratulations. All right, they're interviewing Sandy in the ring. It wasn't really a draw against McCaskill, the commentator. What's he saying? I mean, I know it officially was, but it wasn't really. And we all know it. Sandy is just being interviewed now. Sandy's just being interviewed, thanking her team, thanking everybody, etc., etc. So we got the main event coming up next, by the way. Dalton Smith against Jose Zepeda. One more fight. So who's Sandy Ryan going to be in the ring against next? Who's she going to be matched up against next then? But she's looked very, very impressive in her last two fights. Well, congratulations to all you guys who bet on Sandy Ryan and won this one. I'm not a big gambler, so I didn't put any money on it. But yes, I thought Sandy would win. I thought she'd win by decision. But Sandy Ryan, I think whoever she faces next, like she's gonna be a problem for anybody at this weight division. She's looked very impressive in her last two outings. Eddie Hearn is going to be pleased, I think, with that performance, especially because, yeah, you don't get a lot of knockouts. And so having a female fighter who actually gets knockout victories, it's going to make Sandy Ryan more marketable going forward, I think. So good for her. I didn't have anything against Terri Harper. I didn't want her to lose for any particular reason, but I liked Sandy Ryan. I was hoping she would win, and she did. So big congratulations to her, and it was an impressive performance. It was just that body work, the power difference, everything was there in her favor, really. The next, so this is on DAZN. The whole card is on DAZN. So we've got one more to go now, the main event. But yeah, the whole card is available to watch live on DAZN. And we've got one more to go now. So thank you guys all for tuning in. It was a big day today as well, hitting 1,000 subscribers. So I'm very pleased about that. All right, Sandy Ryan. Sandy Ryan against Jessica McCaskill rematch. I hope that actually does happen. And it should happen in the UK, really, because Sandy Ryan went to the US, even though I know it's not McCaskill's hometown, but still. So I think McCaskill should fight in the UK for the rematch, especially because she really lost the first one. That's how I see it anyway. So Jose Zepeda, Zepeda, whichever, against Dalton Smith in the super lightweight division. Coming up next, we're probably 15 minutes away from the opening bell for this one, guys. So please hang on, and it should be a good main event. So question is, guys, is this fight going the distance, or are we going to get a stoppage in this one as well? I know a lot of people were saying Smith by KO. What does everyone think in the chat? Big up Frank Warren. What did Frank Warren do in particular? In relation to anything in particular, or just generally? So yeah, who's winning the main event, guys? I think it's going to be Smith. And yeah, I will actually lean towards Smith by KO, thinking about it, because like I said, I wasn't super impressed with Zepeda in his last one. So I'm going to go for Smith by KO. Frank Warren is promoting this fight? Really? I didn't even realize that. It's a Matchroom show. Frank Warren is... Are you talking about the... I think this is... No, this is a Matchroom show. Or are we talking about something else? Or maybe I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is a Matchroom show. Or are you talking about just the main event? All right, guys, let's go. Come on, enough with the ad breaks. This is a eliminator for the WBC belt as well. By the way, in case you guys didn't know that. Zepeda, I don't know. I think my take on this fight is that he is a more well-known name at this point than he probably is an actually elite level fighter. I don't think he's I don't want to say he's that good, but I mean I don't think he's really at a world level in terms of being one of the top guys in the division at this point. That's kind of how I see it, but we'll see. I mean, maybe he wins this fight and then I look like an idiot. So that could happen too. But for me, I think that's probably going to be a much more likely outcome that Smith wins this one. And I think he probably can do it by knockout. The winner of this one should, in theory, as well get a shot at the title, I guess, next. So that that's going to be interesting when it happens. But for me, Dalton Smith is going to win this one. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to beat Haney. But who knows? I would be very surprised if that happened, though. If Zepeda uses experience and doesn't throw as much, but he'll throw a lot and get tired. Yeah. Okay, so does anyone actually think that the winner of this one is going to win the belt, though, if they win this fight? I personally can't see it. I can't really see. I mean, I'm assuming that Ryan Garcia doesn't beat Devin Haney. But let's say that he does lose. Then I don't see Dalton Smith beating Devin Haney. And I don't see Zepeda beating Devin Haney either. But we'll see. The other thing, though, I guess that's worth bearing in mind is that Devin Haney could, in theory, probably still fight at 147 pounds. And so what that means is that whoever wins this one, you never know. If Devin Haney were to move up, which he's talked about doing in the past, then the winner of this fight could even be in line for a shot at the vacant title. So either way, it's a big fight, no matter what happens really here. Zepeda to win. Huh. Well, do I do UFC? What other commentary am I doing tonight? No, so I'm just a boxing channel. I've tried covering UFC a little bit. I do watch UFC, but mainly boxing. So I won't be live streaming the UFC tonight. But there are other good channels that do live stream for the UFC, but not me. I'm first and foremost a boxing guy. I enjoy watching the UFC. I like Rose as well, so I hope she wins tonight. But I won't be live streaming that one. Like I say, I'm a boxing guy first, and I watch the UFC more casually. What about you guys? How many of you are watching UFC tonight. I will say the UFC 300 card looks very good. I'm looking forward to that April 13th. If anybody watching the stream doesn't watch the UFC 300 which is the 300th UFC pay-per-view basically on April 13th, is definitely going to be worth checking out. They're taking their time starting this main event, though. I mean, yeah, so that's the thing. Austin's right, I think, here. The reality is that there is a bit of a formula that Matchroom likes to put on with these fights where they put them on in the hometown of the British fighter, and then they try and bring in a challenger who has name value but isn't necessarily a hugely how can I put this? Like he's not, to me, Zepeda is not a world level guy at this point relative to Haney, relative to some of the other champions. And so I think that this is essentially set up for Dalton to win. And if he doesn't, I think it will be more a case of him blowing his opportunity, because it's in his hometown, in front of his hometown crowd. Zepeda's having to travel. Zepeda lost his last fight as well. So it's all there for Dalton Smith to win. Excuse me. And I expect that he will. But Zepeda, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Zepeda wins. Main event is actually finally going to get underway here now, guys. Appreciate everyone who's stuck with me here as well, guys. Thank you if anyone's watching who subscribed today as well, because we hit a big milestone, 1,000 subs. I really appreciate everyone who subscribed at any point, but especially anyone who subscribed overnight. And we hit that 1,000, which is a big milestone. So I really appreciate that, guys. I do, because I enjoy making these videos a lot, and I have fun making them and doing these live streams, even if nobody was watching them, honestly. But having people actually watch them, obviously, is more fun. So I appreciate you guys. And there's a lot of good boxing channels on YouTube as well. So I genuinely do appreciate, because I watch a lot of them. So I genuinely appreciate you guys checking out my stuff as well. Okay. Sheffield, England. This is the moment of truth. Let's go. All right, guys. Zepeda is making his way to the ring. Like you guys said in the chat, I mean, it's in Dalton Smith's hometown. And that probably, I don't like to say this, but that probably means that Zepeda needs to be looking for a KO, or he needs to be even more dominant on the scorecards, because if it's a close fight, probably they'll give it to So I saw the result of the fight, and I was very happy for Ashley Lane when he won that one, because of the fact that I heard, that I was reading about his life story, and that he'd been homeless and suicidal and all of this type of thing. And I'm very happy for him that he won, but I didn't realize the odds were actually that substantial. So big congrats to him then. That's even more impressive. And you could tell it meant a lot to him after the fight as well. Oh, Moses Atama was on that card as well, who is a future world champion, in my opinion, in the heavyweight division. But yeah, Austin, I agree, is exactly what Austin said. What you said there about using a big name on the come down. That's kind of, to me, like what Matchroom shows like to do in this type of situation, which, I mean, it makes sense to build up Dalton Smith, but you also have to be realistic about it and say that, from my point of view, Dalton Smith should win this fight. And I think if he doesn't, it will be a bigger letdown for him, basically, than if I think if Zepeda doesn't get the victory, he's older. He's had a lot more fights. It's in his opponent's hometown. But I think if Dalton Smith doesn't win this one, then I think that's more of a letdown, basically. I've heard that it was a big KO, though. I heard that was a big KO. Actually, I'm going to watch that fight. Maybe I'll watch it later on tonight, actually. I didn't get a chance to watch it live yesterday because I was actually making a video for the channel, um but I'm going to catch up on that one today, actually, just because I've heard a lot of people talking about it. How old is Dalton Smith, by the way? I know he's younger, but actually, how old is he off the top? Does anyone actually know? I can look it up, but does anyone actually know off the top of your head how old is Dalton Smith? Because Zapata's 34. Yeah, that's a good point about the cuts. 29. Okay. Thank you, Minky. So, I mean, that's not a huge age difference. I don't think the age 27 beat Fanatic. Okay. I don't think from my point of view. Oh, thanks for tuning in, Beat Fanatic. I appreciate you. Do you have any money riding on this one? Mankey Crazy 27. Yeah. I don't think the age is a huge factor, though. To me, it's more about the number of fights that Zapata has been in. Because that to me, like, more than his age, like 34 is not old, but it's the fact that he's had a number of fights. I mean, if you think about it, at 34, Bernard Hopkins was barely even getting started on his career at that point. He fought for 16 years beyond that. So 34 is not old. It's just that he's had a lot of fights. So I think Dalton Smith wins, but let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the problem with the Mexican style is that it's so physical that because yeah, I mean, I just talked about Hopkins, but the reality is that the Mexican style is so physical that you can't do it and be in these wars. And I mean, it's super entertaining. It's probably the most fan-friendly style, but you can't do that for forever and not slow down when you're in wars all the time. So that's, that's part of it as well. No, Adam, you haven't missed the fight. UFC and boxing fan, no, it hasn't started yet. They're both in the ring. So they've already done the ring walks. They're just actually getting ready for the opening bell. But they haven't been given their final instructions by the referee. They haven't touched gloves yet. So in theory, the winner of this fight is supposed to be the mandatory challenger for the WBC title. So the winner of Haney against Ryan Garcia. Yeah. I think Dalton Smith is fresher and faster. When am I back on the stream, James? I will be streaming. So I'll be streaming if that's what you're talking about, I'll be streaming next weekend. Three streams for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you meant something else, then I apologize. Zapata has been introduced now. They're just introducing Dalton Smith. The other thing is Zapata. I would say that Zapata's last opponent, Richardson Hitchens, was pretty defensive, right? So it's a different situation this time. He's going to deal with an aggressive guy in this fight. Because I think Richardson Hitchens was criticized a little bit because I think some people felt that he was too defensive, basically. But yeah, I will be streaming next week for the Friday card, the top rank card on Friday. I'll also be doing Tim Tszyu against Fundura, and then I will be doing the British heavyweight title fight on Easter Sunday, which is Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley. And so I'm looking forward to all three of those. All three of those should have some good fights on them. The boxing coming up, guys, is it's pretty good, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of good fights coming up over the next few months. Yeah, Richardson Hitchens does have a good fight as well. A racehorse versus a quarter horse. Well, let's see what he looks like. All right, guys, here we go. For everyone not actually watching the visuals of the fight, the first bell has just started. Okay, here we go. Round 1 is underway, guys. Both guys trying to... Okay, so Zepeda starting on the front foot. Dalton Smith is circling the ring. Zepada's coming forward behind his jab. Neither guy's landing or throwing a lot. Zepada's trying to use his jab to walk Dalton Smith down. Dalton Smith is circling around the outside of the ring on his back foot. He's looking for an opening to counter. He looks mobile. He looks very good on his feet, but Zepeda looks good as well. If anything, though, he looks maybe a little bit slower on his feet than Dalton Smith. He's getting countered now when he throws his jab. He's tried to jab and he's gotten countered twice now. So it looks like Dalton Smith has got more speed. Zepeda jabs to the body there. It's single shots really from Zepeda. He's leading the dance, but Dalton Smith is countering and he looks faster when he does. So he's not the one leading, but he's getting out of range. That's the other thing. Dalton Smith is doing a very good job so far of getting out of range. He's moving his head and he's also moving his feet. Zepeda went lunging in there, but the big issue for me so far has been the movement of Dalton Smith. Yeah, Minky, I agree. Yeah, Richardson Hitchens does have a Floyd style, so Dalton is doing well, I would say, so far. For me, the biggest thing is he's doing well to stay out of range. But having said that, he hasn't landed a ton as well. But the big concern for me is that Zepeda is standing directly in front of Dalton Smith when he comes forward. And I think that's going to allow him to get countered if he keeps doing that. So 30 seconds left in round number 1, guys. They're in the clinch now after Zepeda lunged in. Smith is holding on. Now they're broken up. Zepeda's on the front foot, and again, Smith is back against the ropes. Zepeda's not managing to connect. Smith is just staying out of range. But now he backs Smith up into the corner, and he unloads with a combination, but it doesn't really do enough damage. It doesn't really do a ton of damage, it didn't look like, because Dalton Smith was able to cover up. But that little bit at the end of the round was the first time that Dalton Smith had been hit seriously. Most of the round, he was able to stay on the back foot and use his mobility to make Zepeda miss. But something I would look out for is that Zepeda got off balance a couple of times there when he went lunging in. And so if he keeps doing that and Smith is able to move to the outside, I think he's going to be in trouble. What did you guys think of that first round? I liked the way Dalton Smith looked, to be honest with you. I think he's doing well compared with Zepeda. It wasn't a terrible round, but I just thought Dalton Smith looked better overall. Okay, guys. Round 2 is underway. Dalton was very patient. I agree. Yeah, I think for those not watching like the video portion and just listening to the commentary, Smith is looking good, in my opinion. I think he's looking the better of the two. But he's being patient and looking to land the right shot. And he does connect with a jab there. Zepeda is looking too slow here, in my opinion. Zepeda just keeps coming forward. And he is actually landing a couple of uppercuts there. 2 minutes to go in the round, by the way. Zepeda connects with a jab. Smith can't get out of the way that time. Zepeda comes lunging in again. Zepeda, he's also being patient, but he's not as fast. Yeah, Zepeda did say he might retire if he loses this one. And right now, it looks like he is not, I don't want to say in trouble, but Dalton Smith looks good. Let's put it that way. The one thing, though, that I think Dalton Smith needs to be careful of is he's being very patient, but he doesn't want to be so patient that Zepeda starts to get more confident and keeps coming forward. Yeah, it's 12 rounds. It's 12 rounds, James. Yeah. I think Smith is trying to time Zepeda as he comes in, and he's been pretty successful at it. Most of the first 2 rounds. Nice 1-2 combination landing from Smith there. He did well there, and it backed Zepeda up. Yeah, Zepeda's getting these early rounds, but I also think that he's going to get hit with something, and it's going to change the fight when he does in Smith's favor, because you can tell that Smith is just being patient and looking for his opening. Another jab lands from Smith there. All right, that's the end of round number 2, guys. They're telling Smith in the corner. Telling Smith in the corner that instead of moving and spinning, he needs to move straight back. And I'm assuming that's to try and catch Zepeda stumbling in. I think Smith is probably going to win this by KO. I feel like it's heading that way, even though Zepeda's probably done better and maybe even actually won the rounds. Zepeda, it's hard to say that it's a matter of time before he gets knocked out when he hasn't really got caught with anything, but I still feel like it's a matter of time before he gets knocked out, because Smith is just going to wait his time and he's going to land with something big, and it's going to put Zepeda on his backside, I think. There we go. Dalton Smith managing to come through with a right hand. Now, Zepeda is, in fairness, throwing more volume here, and he probably is winning these early rounds. So at a certain point, there is going to be a danger that Smith has given up a lot. Oh, nice straight right, lands on the chin. Zapata's volume looks like it's dropping already, and he's lunging in. The problem is he's not maneuvering inside. He's lunging in, and it's going to make him very vulnerable to the counter shots, and that's going to be a big problem for him, guys. I think it's increasingly looking like, oh, another straight right. Another straight right lands from Smith. Better platform than YouTube is better than Facebook. Yeah, I prefer YouTube to Facebook as well. Let's go, guys. Now, Zepeda does manage to actually hit Smith with some shots there, but like I say, none of it is super, super damaging. And I think Smith is the better fighter. He just looks sharper and fresher, but at the same time, with the volume that's coming from Zepeda, he might be edging these early rounds. But I do think Smith is just waiting for his opportunity to counter. He looks aggressive as well. Like, it's not like he's just sitting on the outside and being passive. It's a difference between doing that and what he is doing, which is, yeah. So Smith is losing on the scorecards. I agree. The reason why I think he's doing well is, oh, but he does get tagged there, actually, Smith. He does actually get hit with a good couple of shots from Zepeda there, and it backed him up. He had to try and turn around and actually run across the ring there. As he missed, Dalton Smith missed Zepeda with an uppercut. Could be 3 rounds to nil there for Zepeda. Could be. And in that sense, you have to give him respect. It's true. I mean, I'm talking like Dalton Smith is just inevitably going to get the knockout here. But, I mean, you have to give Zepeda credit. He probably is winning the fight 3 rounds to nothing at this point. Better, ready to start round 4, by the way, guys. For anybody who's not watching, that was round 3. I probably have Zepeda up 3 rounds to nothing, I would say. Smith going down soon. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Now Smith catches Zepeda to start the opening or the 4th round. Zepeda misses with a jab to the body, and Smith is looking to be a little bit more aggressive here. He's trying to lead with his jab as opposed to just waiting for Zepeda. He's using his own jab, I think, to bring out the left hand from Zepeda, because Zepeda's out of a southpaw stance, and Smith is trying to counter Zepeda as he pivots to the side. 2 minutes left in round number 4, guys. Smith he's doing more jabbing this round than he probably has in any of the previous 3, but he's still getting backed up by Zepeda. Zepeda misses with a big left to the body. It's not being fought at an electrifying pace. It's pretty much Zepeda coming forward relatively slowly, walking Smith down. Smith trying to counter, and he does wobble Zepeda there. Not massively, but he did knock him off his feet. It was more a case of knocking him off balance with a right hook there. Zepeda wobbled, but I think it was more that he got knocked off balance. Ooh, Smith tries to go for a big body shot. Oh, another big shot lands for Smith. Zepeda firing back as well. Zepeda is doing well so far to score points in this round, but Smith is landing big shots. Don't know who's winning this round, but it could probably go either way at this point. 30 seconds to go. They're up close. The plan is not for Zepeda to get a decision in the UK. No, I don't think that is the plan. Definitely not. Zepeda's managing to connect with Smith's chin there. Smith got rocked a little bit. It sounds like, your stream might be a little bit ahead of mine. So when you said that there was 13 seconds left in the round on my stream, so I think my stream might be a little bit behind. Beat Fanatic, you have it 2-2. Dalton upping the aggression. Yeah. So Dalton, he was very effective at landing some bigger shots in that round. And I'm still concerned with the way that Smith, or rather that Zepeda is, to me, he's not smooth enough on his feet. I think he's going to get caught with something, and I think that's where the end of the fight is still going to come from. That's how I see it anyway. So we're waiting for round 5 to start as well. Both fighters just in their corners. Both fighters in their corners waiting for round number 5 to start. We are nearly halfway through this fight. Seconds out. Round 5. Let's go. Yeah, experience does count. That is true. All right, round number 5 underway. Smith looking to find the jab. He finds a right hand. He finds the right hand. Doesn't do a lot of damage. Zepeda pawing with the jab. Dalton Smith comes swinging in with the right hand and a left, but Zepeda manages to get out of the way of both of them. Zepeda's coming forward. It's really, to me, it's the footwork of Zepeda that I'm concerned about. Zepeda got buckled there. Zepeda down. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, but I just saw him get buckled. It's over. It's over. Okay, my stream is behind. Okay, I've just seen Zepeda go down. He's down. Okay, so it's over. Okay, so Smith won. So, yeah, all right. So it's over. Okay, interesting. I don't know about that performance. He got the stoppage victory, but I don't know. I wasn't super impressed with Dalton Smith, if I'm completely honest, relative to the fact that by winning this fight, he's supposed to be in line for a shot at Devin Haney. And based on this performance, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think he's anywhere near ready for that. It was a good knockout and a good victory, but when you consider that Zepeda lost his last fight, I don't know. I mean, he got the stoppage, and he was coming into the fight prior to that, so it's not like it was just totally out of nowhere. But between these two guys, I think he was the better fighter. Still has a few years to challenge for the title. Yeah, I think that would be smart. I think challenging for the title at this point would be a mistake. Yeah, he does do well against plotters. But I mean, I think he would be very wise to take his time before fighting Haney. Now, that is true. I mean, Richardson Hitchens beat Zapata, but not this comprehensively. But I mean, Hitchens has a totally different style as well. Hitchens against Haney, that would be a exciting fight, right? Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be exciting. Hitchens against Haney would probably be super boring, but Prograis, yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. Beat Fnatic. That's not a bad idea. I think that would be a good balance between a fight that's difficult, but still, I think, not too far. I think Dalton versus Prograis. I don't think Prograis has a fight announced coming up anytime soon, does he? I don't think they've announced Prograis' next fight unless I've completely missed that. But I don't believe Prograis has a fight coming up. So if he doesn't, now Dalton Smith needs obviously some time to recover, but Prograis, it's not a bad idea, and they're both promoted by Matchroom, so that could work. All right. Thank you, Minky. Yeah, both under Matchroom. That is, I think, a good idea, actually. Truthfully, I could see that one potentially getting made because I don't think that they're going to put him in with Haney. But I mean, that's 3 losses out of 4 fights now for Zapata. So I think he maybe. I mean, I don't want to say that he needs to retire. That's for him to decide. But so just reading the official verdict, Smith is the winner. But I mean, I don't think it's. I don't want to say that Zapata needs to retire, but 3 losses out of 4. Um, to me, though, it was more about how he looked rather than the fact that he lost. I mean, like if he looked fine and then just got caught with a punch, I didn't think it's as big of a deal. But I think the issue was that I don't think he looked slow, basically, from my point of view. So yeah, well done to Dalton Smith. Officially, I believe he's now the #1 contender in the WBC for Devin Haney. I doubt that fight will actually get made anytime soon. But still, congratulations. And it's true, nobody has beaten Zapata like that. So congratulations to Dalton Smith, and congratulations as well to Sandy Ryan, who had a very impressive knockout win as well. So, all right, guys. So I'll wrap this up once we hear the post-fight interviews, just in case there's anything worth commenting on. But I appreciate all of you for tuning in, as always. I will be back next Friday. I will be streaming. Will be posting throughout the week, and then I will be live streaming next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the 3 cards that will be happening next weekend. The last 2 fights were good actually. I enjoyed them both. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. So Dalton Smith is just giving his interview. He said he had dreams about getting knocked out in this fight, and that's why he tried harder. Well, he didn't get knocked out. He got the win by KO. So that's 12 KOs on his record now as well. He's saying happy birthday to his grandma. So I assume they're going to ask him what's next. So it's going to be interesting to see what he wants to do next. They're asking him what kind of statement he sent out. So what does he say? They're just asking about the finish as well. I just want to see if they ask if he calls out anyone in particular. I don't think he will, but I'm just curious if he will call out anyone in particular. He was just saying Zepeda was very tough, which he was, which he is rather. All right. They're just showing some highlights of the knockout as well. But yeah, that was a good victory for Dalton Smith. Like, Prograis is not a bad option, actually. Okay, they're just asking him what's going to happen next. They're asking him what's his next fight. He's calling someone out. He called out Adam Azim. Okay. That's interesting. Well, I mean, I guess that, you know, that was also being talked about beforehand, but we'll see if it happens. So they're talking about Adam Azim next then. They're asking Eddie Hearn. They're asking Eddie Hearn now basically about Adam Azim. It's okay. So he's not. That's the fight that I guess they're looking at next. Let's see, guys. But I just want to hear what Eddie Hearn says as well about the Dalton Smith, Adam Azim. Let's see. He's just basically saying it was a world-class performance from Dalton Smith. He's just saying a major statement at world level. They're talking about Zepeda. He's just thanking him. Prograis. I mean, they're mentioning all the names. I'm just curious as my cat tries to get in the shot here. Okay. He's talking about a world title fight. Smith versus Azim is a good fight, by the way, if it actually happens. Yeah, Eddie is taunting Azim. Let's hear what Eddie has to say about that. That's really what I'm hanging on here to see, and then I'll shut this stream down, guys. They're very keen on this fight actually happening. We'll see if it actually happens. I would like to see this fight if it actually happens. It has a good build up to it. That was Eddie's very confident. All right, guys. I just wanted to hear about that. Adam Azim, Dalton Smith. Let's see if it actually happens. Thank you, guys. I'm going to shut this down. I appreciate all of you for watching this. I will be streaming next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you, Beat Fanatic. I appreciate you. I appreciate James, Minky, everyone who's held on here, Austin, all of you guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to shut this one down. I will hopefully see you guys next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hope everyone has a good weekend and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much, guys.